The social media blueprint is what we're going to go over today. And today's going to be kind of part training, part workshop. So I have this little presentation for you. I'm going to go through it fairly quickly. And then you're going to have to bear with me because what I want to do today is I want to kind of show you in real time how to utilize some of the tools that we're going to talk about today. So we'll work that out together. And I want this to be a little bit more of a, I guess, interactive thing. But with social media, though, whether you're a brand new agent or you're experienced and you want to maybe modernize your content a little bit, I think this blueprint will give you guys some structure and some tools to be able to attract buyers and sellers and investors. You know, a couple of weeks ago, we did a whole training on hyper-local marketing. And the advantage of being hyper-local in the sense of getting more organic leads into your database. Generally, with organic leads, the conversion rate is sky high compared to your general kind of real estate internet lead type of person. So, I mean, again, you always want to do two things. You always want to have kind of the mass marketing component of your business, and then you want to have a little bit more of a what I call retail marketing. And social media is kind of a little bit of both, because generally when you're posting, you're catering to the masses, but then it gives you the opportunity to potentially interact with people as people interact with your content, and that becomes a little bit more on the retail side. So today is all about kind of making content and video content, all types of different content. And making it a little bit more simpler and more doable. We're not going to complicate things with any kind of fancy production, try to turn you guys into content creators overnight. God knows I'm not. Instead, I want to show you guys how to show up as your authentic self, create content that connects, and turn those connections ultimately into closings. So we're going to cover, we're going to cover 4 key areas. Can't see anything because my glasses now are smudgy. That's going to completely shift the way you use social media. First, we'll look at kind of a daily content strategy. I'm going to show you guys exactly how you can come up with what to post each day, so you're never feeling like you're just kind of staring at a blank screen. What I ultimately want to do is allow you guys to understand that there are tools out there that pushes away the tall task of creation, which is brainstorming ideas, which you don't have to do anymore. I want agents to spend the majority of their time focused on, you know, dealing with their clients as opposed to trying to like brainstorm what to post. All right. So then we're going to kind of break down the content framework, what I like to call the 7 content pillars. And there's a reason why there's 7. I'm sure you guys can figure that out. Coming up with what those 7 pillars and understanding that those 7 pillars will keep your ideas sort of flowing. After that, we're going to go into lead generation, how to turn views and followers into clients. And we'll wrap up the video with a little bit of a workshop, and I'll show you guys some of the tools that I've been learning over the past few months and been using regularly now as we're trying to scale kind of this community through social. So first, I guess kind of let's start why all this matters. Social media is the #1 way to grow your reach today, in my opinion. So platforms like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, they ultimately prioritize video. Obviously, Facebook and Instagram will also allow you to do all types of other content. But when people see you guys on video, and I will be focusing primarily on video today. I'll kind of give you an overview of everything, but I do really want to highlight video only because video seems like it's the most effective. It's also the easiest, and I'll show you why. But when people see you on video, you become a more trustworthy and real person and more of an expert in their mind. So you're not just another profile. Right? You're someone they feel like they already know. And when people feel like they know you, they're much more likely to hire you. I can't stress the importance of this enough in our business, just as an idea, as just an overall thought, in the sense that there has to be a relationship there before you're pitching someone your business, unless they're coming to you for business. If you're the one that's sort of driving the nurture of a relationship, you have to focus on the relationship itself before you start pitching them. All right. So by this is where we kind of stop thinking of video as marketing and start thinking of it as building relationships at scale, is essentially what social media is to me. You get to show people how you think, how you work, what your personality is like, and what it would be like to partner with you as a service provider. So it's not just about going viral, right? It's about building connection and trust, staying visible with your audience. And the best part is you don't need thousands of views. You really don't. You just need the right people watching at the right time, and you need to be consistent on your end. All right, so let's talk about the foundation of your content strategy, sort of the 7 content pillars, I call them. Now, I put 7 here, but this is kind of arbitrary. But these are the categories generally you rotate through to keep your videos fresh, valuable, engaging. First is educational. This is where you teach your audience something. So think of tips, myths, quick how-tos, or market updates. All right. Next is personality. Let people into your world. Show your hobbies, your routines. If you're comfortable, show your family, or why you do what you do. The purpose of why you're a real estate professional. Again, the goal is to create connection and to be relatable. All right. Then we have property, where you showcase listings or do quick tours. So these can be your listings or even tours of interesting homes in your market. You guys know, if you've been in enough of these and you've worked with me long enough, you know that I'm a really, really big proponent of doing open houses as sort of a lead generator. Well, open houses generally will kill many, many birds. It's another reason why I'm such a big proponent of it. And one of those is the ability to be able to help you create content. All right. So when you guys are doing this, it could be any listing or just general tours. Social proof includes, so the next one is social proof. So social proof generally includes client testimonials and success stories. All right. Don't be afraid to celebrate wins and to celebrate them out loud. These can help you build credibility as well. Then you have the process pillar, which is about breaking down how it works to buy, sell, or invest with you. It's a great way to ease your audience's fears and show your expertise. And then you have engagement posts, which are interactive, asking questions using trending audio or encouraging your viewers to comment. And finally, you have kind of a call to action content, which directly invites your audience to reach out to you, or to maybe download something or to book a call. So these, you'll hear the acronym or see the acronym CTAs. So these CTAs, call to actions, are ultimately what's going to move your audience from watching to working with you. And rotating these pillars weekly will allow you to just essentially never run out of content. All right, here's an example. This is just an example. We're going to put together pillars today. But here's kind of how you turn pillars into a weekly rhythm, right? Each day of the week gets its own theme. All right, so on Monday, share something educational, a myth-busting video about down payments or how interest rates work, as an example. On Tuesday, show your personality. Take your followers behind the scenes of your day. It could be something simple, a morning routine, a client appointment, something personal maybe that you're doing or doing that day that builds connection. And again, you're posting it that day. You're not necessarily filming it that day. So I'm going to make that very, very clear. You can film these things throughout the week and then have an idea of what you're posting and when. Wednesday is property day. And again, these are just examples. A walkthrough, a highlighting a new listing, a previewing an open house, whatever. Thursday is some sort of social proof, like a just closed celebration or a buyer success stories. Friday, explain part of your process, like how you help sellers prep their home or how you guide first-time home buyers through offers. Saturday is about engagement. Do this or that, jump on a trending sound. Ask your audience to vote in the comments. Do some sort of quiz. Okay? And then maybe Sunday, you make a direct call to action. Ask viewers to DM you for some sort of guide, maybe a home valuation, maybe a strategy call. All right, so by having like a simple schedule like this gives you structure without limiting your creativity. And if you ever get stuck, just go back to this. Go back to your 7 content pillars for inspiration. Right, video hooks. If you're going to be doing videos, are really important. Hooks grab attention. Right, this is really, really important. This is what grabs your viewers' attention within the first 3 seconds of your video. So remember, people are scrolling very fast. If your video doesn't have a hook, if your video doesn't hook them immediately, chances are they'll scroll right past it, even if the content is amazing. So your hook should wait, or I need to hear the rest of that kind of thing, right? So great hooks often start with curiosity, like most buyers have no idea about this mistake, but dot, 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 right? Or something like the market just shifted. Here's what you need to know. Something interesting. You can also lead with a problem. So something like, please don't make this real estate mistake. It could cost you thousands. Or tease something. Here's how I help my client win their dream home against 12 other offers or something. So when creating your hook, guys, think about what would make you stop and listen. Use emotion, use urgency, or even surprise to create an instant connection. So the hook is essentially your video's headline. So it's really important that you're making it count. Let's talk about what happens after someone watches your video or engages in one of your posts. Right? Because I think this is where most agents and most people in general are going to be are missing the opportunity. Getting views is great, but views alone isn't going to grow your business. What you want is engagement. And you want to spark a conversation. Conversations lead to relationships, and relationships lead to deals. So when someone comments on your post, or if somebody watches your story or likes a few of your videos, reach out to them. Shoot them a DM. Doesn't have to be pushy. It doesn't have to be awkward. A simple, hey, thanks for following. Are you looking to buy or sell this year? Or do you just love real estate content? All right, something like that can go a long way. Remember, the goal is not to go viral. Your goal is just to reach the right people at the right time. Get them curious. Start building trust. When people feel seen and heard, they'll be more likely to reach out when they need an agent. All right, so start thinking of every video as sort of an open door, or any post as an open door. Then use your DMs and comments to walk through it, to walk through that door. I'm not going to go through DM scripts. I'm kind of bored by this. If you guys want scripts, I mean, I have them, but they're not that important. I want to focus more on tools. All right, tools to make it easy. So again, let's be real, guys. Creating content consistently can feel overwhelming if you don't have the right tools. But with the right stack, you'll save time, you're going to boost quality, and you'll stay on track. So I want to walk you through a few of the tools that I've been using over the past few months, as I've trying to really increase kind of my and our social media presence. Right, the first is the obvious. It's ChatGPT. AI has been an absolute game changer in so many different facets of how we do things, and social media is definitely one of them. It's a 24/7 idea machine. All right, you use it to brainstorm anything. Hooks, captions, even DM templates. Why am I going over DM templates? Because you can just use ChatGPT. Okay, you can even come up with full scripts. All right, next is Camo. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Camo. Give me a sec, let me pull it up. This is Camo. Here it comes on your end. I'm recording myself right now for social as I'm speaking with you guys. All right, it's a really cool tool. You open it up, You classify what microphone you want to use. I'm using my phone as the camera. So my phone is like just on a little stand. All right. And when I'm done, it is automatically saved on my desktop. And now I have a video. This is how I do our videos for YouTube every single week. Now I'm going to show you what I do afterwards in a second. Let me go back here. Let me get rid of camo. Okay. So camo essentially turns your phone. I like the phone because the phone is, it's got a really high quality camera. So that's why I like camo in particular, because it uses your phone as the camera for the system. So I'm not recording onto my phone. I'm using my phone as the camera and it's recording directly into my desktop. So before, when I used to record right on my phone, I used to have a lot of issues transferring it from my phone into my desktop because these are massive files. There's always some sort of issue. I feel like I'm the only person on the planet that had this issue, but I had it. So I found this thing that uses my phone's camera to record directly onto my desktop, which is great. So I don't have to worry about space on my phone and or my desktop. I mean, I just have to worry about on my desktop. So it's perfect for like clean, more talking head videos, virtual meetings, Zoom showings. You guys, when you're doing, I would recommend for all of you to do, you should be doing buyer consultations anyway. Right? We have to do buyer consultations because we have to get the BBA signed now. So the idea of getting somebody from lead to appointment doesn't happen anymore. It's lead to consultation to appointment. Your consultations are generally going to be virtual. Record them, just like this. You can record your consultations, and then you can grab sound bites from them. You don't have to post. I wouldn't post the whole consultation. What I'm suggesting is that you have let's say a 30-minute video of you speaking to a buyer, but on camera, you're essentially speaking to an audience. And you can grab that and you can cut it up. I'll show you how to easily cut it up in a few seconds. And camo is a great way to do that. So then when you want to go and you want to cut it up and edit it, there's a million of these editing. Guys, if you can look up Opus Plus, OPUS, there's a couple of others. I use CapCut. Here's what I'm going to show you today. It's my go-to editing app. I know very little about editing, so don't take my word for it. It's just based on my research. It's what I found works best for me. But I use it to literally do anything I want. Trim videos, add captions, throw in transitions, putting in trending sounds, B-rolls, which I'll talk a little bit about. Really, really cool. And again, with AI, you don't have to be a video editing expert. I'm still learning how to edit video, and as I continue to learn more tools, I will present them to you, but just keep it simple. Use AI, click a button, you're edited. Okay. I'm going to show you another tool called Super Meme. It's a really fun tool to turn real estate ideas into viral memes or just memes in general. I don't want to use the word viral. All right. So if you guys want to do like some memes as part of your 7 pillars of what you post, like Thursday could be just like a funny meme, for example, as part of your pillar. Super Meme is great, and I'm going to show it to you in a second. And then the best part is you don't have to worry about this daily. So there are tools out there that will allow you to pre-post everything. So again, I'm going to shamelessly plug the advantages of doing open houses. Right? There's a lot of downtime generally in open houses. You're doing a 3-hour open house. You're probably only spending about 45 minutes total of that open house actually showing homes and talking to clients, more or less. I'm just giving you guys an example. Well, the rest of the time, it's just dead time, right? You're just sitting around, You can use that time to literally pre-post a week's worth of content as an example. Or you can just block 2 hours every whatever day of the week and do this. So there are a couple of different platforms that will allow you to do that. It will connect directly with all your social media accounts, and you can literally just pre-post everything. I use Go High Level. I use Go High Level for everything. If you guys have probably heard me say Go High Level a million times, I literally use it for everything that I do. It's kind of an all-encompassing one-stop shop. There's another one I found in my research over the past few days called later.com. Check that out, later.com. So again, these are content planners and schedulers, and they kind of let you batch everything in advance, and you can plan your grid, you can write your captions, you can auto post across all your platforms. When you combine all of these tools together, which, it's a lot of tools. I'm throwing 5 tools at you, but it's at the end of the day, they kind of interact with one another. And when you combine them, it gives you kind of this ability to be able to not have to rack your brain on what to post and how to post. And that's a big part of what I wanted to talk about today. So I want to zoom in on CapCut for a minute. If you've ever struggled like I have with editing videos or felt like it just takes too long, it's a tool that's going to change the game for you. There's a free version of CapCut that is great. I'm surprised by how much stuff they offer in the free version. And it's really powerful. I use the pro version. I think it's like $30 a month. All right. You can add things like auto captions in seconds, which makes your video accessible and keeps viewers watching longer. You can use voiceovers, sound effects, music, pre-made templates if you're short on time. You can use transitions if you want to add some flair, text overlays. All right. It's fast. It's super fast. I can shoot a video, which I'm going to show you today. Open CapCut, trim the fluff, add captions and music, and post. And I can do that within 10, 15 minutes if I want. Again, depending on how big the video is. All right. So if you batch your film on Sundays, you can edit all of your videos for the week in one sitting. I do mine on Mondays. All right. So don't let editing be a thing that holds you back, because a tool like CapCut will make the process very fast, simple, fun. Again, there are other tools out there. I played around again with a tool called Opus Plus, which is really great. All right. So here's a really quick 3-step process, right? That allows you to stay consistent and save you time, which consistency, guys, is ultimately kind of the key here. I'm not a social media expert by far, but anyone that I've ever talked to about what it takes to become a presence on social media will tell you the same thing. It's posting consistently. And my whole thing, when somebody says to me something consistent, it's once a day. Okay. But step 1, shoot. Use your phone. Shoot vertically. Don't overthink it. Just talk like you're on FaceTime with a friend, if that's what you're shooting. Step 2, edit with CapCut. Trim the beginning and end. Remove any pauses. Add captions. Pick your music, etc. It could take you 10 minutes to do this. Step 3, post. Post with a hook and a call to action. All right, and your captions should reinforce the message and invite viewers to take the next step. The next step could be liking the post, commenting, DMing you. All right. Guys, you can batch like 3 to 5 videos at one time, spend an hour to 2 hours a week creating. You don't have to scramble. Again, I do these trainings. I film the whole hour or so. And I'll use CapCut to give me 60 to 90-second shorts. And they'll usually spit out about 8 or 9 of them. And that's all I'm really doing at the moment, for better or for worse, is just posting shorts. I post these videos completely on YouTube, and then I post shorts to kind of promote them. That's it. I mean, I don't have a huge following, but my stuff is getting a lot of views. I'm not getting a lot of like followers, but I'm getting a lot of views because I track it. These systems that you're using to like load your posts, if you're using kind of a third-party system like Go High Level, which I'll show you, they will help you track everything on top of everything else. That's all I do. I do this on Mondays. I take this video, I do a quick editing, I cut it up. I literally press a button to cut it up. And I batch it all, like seven posts, 7 videos. It takes me like an hour, hour and a half every single week. I just block time and I do it. Okay. So I want to get into some real life examples you can use kind of this week, just as an example. So an agent day in a life video. All right, morning routine is like a really big trending thing right now on social media because some guy posted the most ridiculous morning routine. If you guys saw that, I forgot his name, some dude in Miami. He posted like a morning, like the most ridiculous one, but he was serious about it, and he went viral with just that one post. Now everybody's like doing these like making fun of him videos at the end of the day, trying to one up each other on how ridiculous can your morning routine be. But they work. So um, it could be a client appointment. It could be like a quick stop at a local coffee shop. Highlight local businesses is always really great. It could be a showing. It could be anything behind the scenes, right? You want to build trust and you want to be more relatable. Okay. Second, maybe an educational tip, like how to buy a home with 3% down or something like that. Okay. These things that you will ultimately show, they show expertise and they're going to help your audience feel a little bit more prepared. Number third, maybe a property showcase. Start with a quick outside shot. If you're doing an open house, just shoot the outside. Walk through the home. You got to walk through the home anyway. You might as well take your camera out and point out any features that stand out. Okay. You can use text overlays to highlight details like square footage, price, neighborhood perks. All three of these styles are just simple. They're simple to film. You don't need fancy gear and you don't need any kind of great equipment either, but it's going to potentially get really great engagement. All right, and use clear CTA, call to action, and rotate the styles weekly. So a strong CTA is what turns attention into action. You don't want people to just watch and scroll. You want them to know exactly what to do next. All right. So for buyers, it could be something like DM buy in quotation marks for a free home buyer checklist to help you get started. You know how long it could take me to do a home buyer checklist? About 30 seconds in ChatGPT. And then you can export it onto a PDF. You can create your own logo using AI, and then just have a letterhead, and then just export any of the things that you want to do on ChatGPT onto a Word doc with your letterhead, and then export that into a PDF, and you've got a professional looking PDF. Or just use Canva. And some people love Canva. It's fine. It's a little too complicated for me. But that's how easy it is. All right. So we're going to build a content plan. All right. This is kind of where it all comes together. I'm going to show you kind of what I would do if I was doing this, if what I've done in a lot of times. Content creation, to make content creation a habit, you need a system. So again, I recommend blocking out maybe 2 hours every week, Sundays, Saturdays, Mondays, whatever. In that time, outline your posts for the week, you can even record your videos in one shot as well. Just change shirts. And then you can edit them and you can schedule them on sites like later.com or Grow High Level. The rule that I've learned is really important. It's the 70-20-10 rule. 70% educational or value-driven. 20% entertaining or personal, and 10% direct promotion. That's your kind of your CTAs. That's generally how you build trust. Okay. And then you want to spend another maybe 30 minutes or so per day as part of like your time blocking for prospecting anyway. This can be just one of the activities that you do when you time block for prospecting. Engaging with your audience, replying to comments and things like that, responding to DMs, obviously, if you get them. And leave thoughtful comments on other people's posts. Pay attention who's following you and see what they're doing. And then go on their stuff and just comment on their stuff. Okay, and then you can check your analytics weekly. Again, I'm going to show you what my analytics look like. They're not that impressive because I actually just started doing this like 3 months ago consistently. I've posted over the years, but I've never posted with any real purpose. And I'm still growing that and still learning that. And I'm by no means successful at it. But I had to get out of my comfort zone and turn it into a habit. That was my first goal. And that's kind of what I've done the last 90 days. It was one of my Q1 goals. All right, but you can check your analytics weekly. You can look at which posts perform best, and you can ask yourself why. You can analyze it. Was it the hook? Was it the topic? The format, maybe? And you can use that insight to refine your content over time. Right? You don't need to master every platform at once either. Start with one, maybe in Instagram or TikTok, and just go all in. But you can connect everything at once. But they all kind of work a little bit differently. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to slow it down a little bit. I'm going to share my screen. Reshare my screen, that is. Okay, let's build this out. I'm going to show you the tools in real time. All right, with ChatGPT, let me put hold on, let me put you guys here, and let me put this here. The first thing is you need a good prompt. I'm going to copy and paste a prompt that I use for you guys right now in the chat. Here it is. Copy and paste that, save it somewhere. Why did it not copy the whole thing? Give me a moment. Is this copying the whole thing? Why is it cutting off? All right, I'll have to send it to you guys. I don't know why it's cutting some of it off, but in any case. So here it is. I'm a real estate agent and you put your city, creating a 30-day social media. Now you can go, I would recommend for you guys to do 90 days, but for the purposes of this demonstration, I want to keep it really, really simple. Creating a 30-day social media content campaign where I post once a day. All right, you want to tell it, and if you want to post more, tell it. I want to post twice a day. I want to post 3 times a week, like whatever. Your goal is really important here. The goal is to grow my audience, attract buyers and sellers, build trust, and create shareable content within my niche of, and then you want to add your niche. All right, so I'm going to do this one here. I'm going to change city to, let's just say where I am, which is Naples. And your niche. Your niche could be something, if it's already established, do that. If you don't have it established, my advice is to speak to market's pain points. Current market's pain points. So there's 2 main market pain points today, right? So let's say niche of current market buyer, what do we call it? Let's say buying stress, right? And sellers unable to sell their homes for the price they want. All right, this is kind of the 2 main issues here. Buyers are stressed out. They don't know what to do. They don't know if this is a good time to buy, rates, prices, etc. And this has created an influx of inventory in most places in the state of Florida. I'm just focused on Florida for a second. And homeowners that are legitimately looking to sell are having more and more trouble selling. It's not just about getting the price they want. It's about actually selling because inventory, there's so much competition. All right, next is tone. I want my tone to be modern, funny, and relatable. You can obviously switch those if you want, while still positioning myself as a local expert. And then you tell it, act as my social media consultant and provide 7 categories that will rotate daily. Stick to the 70-20-10 rule. And then I wrote that what that rule is. I defined the rule. And then also classify the type of post, i.e., is it a video? Is it a meme? And for now, I don't want it to show any categories, any details of the category. I just want to pick the category. All right, here they are. Market breakdown, local lifestyle and hidden gems. This could be a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, right? Real talk with buyers and sellers. This is showing me what type. Myth busting Mondays, or just myth busting whatever day that is. Behind the scenes of an agent life. Naples Real Estate 101. Obviously, your city Real Estate 101. Work with me, direct promotion. All right. Now, I can change these if I want. If one of these I don't like, if a couple of these I don't like and I want something else, I can just tell it, hey, change number 3 and 4 to whatever the two you want. And that's it. So let's say I'm happy with my pillars, with my, let's call it 7 categories. Cool. Put together 30 days of content using these categories. Okay. So obviously it's going to work all the way down to 30, which is part of the really cool thing about it. All right. I want to see what it says for 7. It could be a testimonial. So let's say hypothetically, you guys, day 7 is more of your call to action. And let's say you want to do some sort of giveaway. All right, what did I say earlier? Some sort of buying guide. So let's say one of these days is a call to action. Click here for our free first-time home buyer checklist or some sort of guide. Right. And I mentioned earlier, you don't need to brainstorm. Right. You can literally come back here and you could say, put together a checklist for first-time home buyers. As soon as this thing is done with 30, it will allow me to cool. Here's my checklist. All right. Obviously, you'll go through it and you look at it and you'll interchange things that you want and don't want. But for the most part, you can literally copy this onto a Word doc with your logo on top, or and you can export it into a PDF. I use something called Gamma. I'll show it to you guys right now. I use this for like my PowerPoint presentations. That's why my PowerPoint presentations look the way they do. So this is Gamma. Let me show you in real time what I can do with this. Can I hold on, guys? I'm gonna unshare and I want to reshare everything. As I want you guys to be able to see tabs as I move tabs. Okay, cool. All right, bear with me. Here's my checklist. Copy, paste. I want a document. Continue. 10 cards, fine. You know, again, you can do a bunch of edits here. I'm not going to worry about so much the details. I want you to just show you how easy it is from a tool standpoint. There are a ton of themes here. If you noticed, I've always used this in my PowerPoint presentation because that's just kind of the closest colors that represent the Hive Excel logo. So it's kind of on brand. And I click generate. So just give it a sec. It's going to run a little bit slower now that because I have the Google Meet on. Here it is. I hate that it does this. Don't care about that. So here it is. Now I have a PDF. I can export this as a PDF. And now it's a free giveaway that I took me a whole, not even 10 minutes to do. Can I get any feedback on this? Is this something that you guys are vibing with, or am I wasting my time? Be honest. Yeah, check this out. I can take this. Let's say I wanted more pictures here. Thank you. I can go make this more visual. Look, check this out. Make this for a visual. See that? Pictures are, people love pictures. Just it makes things pop a little bit more. But yeah, here. And you can play around with that. And you can obviously play around with colors and play around with, if you have a specific color scheme that you want as your brand. But I can come here now and I can just export this as a PDF. And that's it. You're good to go. Look, I'll show you guys something. I was putting together a PDF for my property management thing that I do. I can have my logo up here. This is a proposal that I sent to someone who a potential client that talks about everything that I do on the property management side. And that's it. It looks really great. It's professional. And again, you see the background logo, Hive Excel co-hosting, which is literally the same logo that I use for us. Essentially, just this one's hosting, obviously. And the color scheme matches the logo. It's cool. Like, it's not the most perfect thing, but you know what? I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel here. I want something that looks good, but also allows me to be able to get it out without sitting here all day, working on a PDF. Like, that's not what I'm trying to do. With ChatGPT. All right, so I have this. I have the content. Next, look what I can do. Let's take a video. Market breakdown. Day 1. Here's how much your dream home costs today versus 6 months ago. Cool. This is just the title, right? This doesn't help me per se. But here's what I can do. I can copy this. Or I don't even need to copy this. But I can go create a script, create a talking script for day 1 post, or a speaking script. Here it is. So now I'm no longer like worried about that. Now I'm just putting my camera on and I'm just reading. I'm just looking at my computer and I am reading. Because I can do a lot to make the video kind of pop on the editing side. I just need to get it on film, on digital film, I guess, in this case. But super simple. And I can obviously change this if I want. Okay. Memes. Look at this. I have memes as part of my carousel. Some of these memes are going to be super corny. Here. When sellers say, but I paid 100K more in 2022. I'll copy that. Here's a cool thing. This is called super meme. This is the free. I don't pay for this, so I don't know if there's like what the limitations are on the free one. But here, I just pasted that particular meme, and I hit generate. Now I got a ton of memes based on my text, any one of which I can download and post. That's funny. Isn't this cool, guys? I'm speaking to a wall. I know nobody's listening. That's okay. Thanks, man. But you can literally look, if I want this, let me show you guys something. I can say, provide for me, let's say 10 memes. It'll just give me, I mean, I can just kind of have a backlog of memes. I only put 10. I can put 1,000 if I wanted to. And it knows, and the cool thing is, here's the really cool thing that I love about ChatGPT. I love this part about ChatGPT is that over time, if you use it enough, it's going to learn you in the kind of a Terminator 2 way, I guess. I didn't have to tell it to provide me 10 real estate memes. It stays within the context of what we're already talking about. So I don't have to be too specific about it. It knows. And I bet you that if I opened up a new chat and I said provide me 10 memes, it would still do real estate without any of this excess stuff that we've posted. It already knows that I'm what I do based on all the amount of time I've used it to brainstorm and put together things. All right. So that's super meme. What else did I want to show you? So there's Gamma for presentations. So if you guys want to put together like buyer consultations, Gamma is another great one. All my PowerPoints that I put together for our meetings are here. Here. Oops. Here's the one we did today. Okay. I use ChatGPT to help me put together the slide deck. I go through, I take about 20, 30 minutes to edit it. Make sure all the topics that it comes up with are things that I want to cover. And I just go in here and I put it together. And it's fine. You guys, look, check this out. Put together a buyer presentation. Here, let me redo this. Act as a real estate agent and put together a slide deck for a buyer presentation. All right, here it is. Look, it already knows. Still knows I'm in Naples because I told it that earlier. And again, you can change. I can go back in here and I can go change slide 5 to a different topic, depending on what you're ultimately trying to accomplish in your buyer presentation or consultation. But I can then take this slide. I can take this whole thing. It's not going to let me highlight until it finishes, but I can take the whole thing and I can just go back and put it back in Gamma as I showed you guys earlier. And instead of clicking document, I just click presentation, and it spits out by the way, it spits out a PowerPoint presentation here that I can directly export. Let me show you into Google Slides, which is what I use. Or if you're using Microsoft, just write to PowerPoint. You can even convert it to a PDF separately. And after you've done your consultation, you send it to them for their review. All right. 2 more things I'm going to show you. We may go a little bit over time, but I hope you guys are feeling this. I want to show you CapCut. Let me open it. Now, I've been recording myself this entire time. This is kind of my process that I go through every single week. Let me unshare and reshare. Okay. Here it comes on your end. All right, so this is CapCut. I'm recording myself on Camo, so don't confuse Camo with CapCut. Camo is what I use to actually record onto the computer. I'm going to stop. And I'm going to, okay. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to go, just bear with me. This is going to be a little tedious, but when we get to the finish line, I think you guys are going to be really happy about it. So I'm going to go to create new project. You guys, of course, are not seeing that. Okay. I'm going to load my video. That's already, okay, here it is. This is literally just our training right now that I just did. It's in here. See? Previewing an open house, whatever. Okay. Don't I sound good? Hold on, let me make this bigger so I can see it. I'm gonna show you some cool stuff you can do. Okay. I can do a million things. I'm not going to show you a million things. I don't know a million things as I'm still learning this system. So one of the things that I can easily do right now is, well, I can make myself thinner. Check this out. Look at my face right now. It's going to get smaller. Yeah, let's do it. Just look at that. I can even do that. I can do a bunch of other stuff, as you can see, to my face. Color scaling. Again, a lot of this is like just click of a button. Here. I can do an auto adjust color. Look at that. And again, I can play around with it. All right, super easy. No problem. All right, you guys get the point. Okay, next. I always like to start my videos by adding our logo. You know, just that's kind of my thing. If you've seen any of the videos on YouTube. Okay. I can literally drag the logo. Here it is. Now it's up here, and I can just drag it here. Okay, there it is. Oops, that's not how I want to do it. Here's how I want to do it. Let me move this over. Drag it here. And then just have both of that stick. Okay. So now when my video starts, I can zoom in and I can see how long my logo is displayed for. By just moving this, you see now it's 5 seconds. So here's how my video could start. So it starts here. Logo. And then here I am right before you guys came in. Now I can trim this. I can cut here. I can trim here. I can also shorten it. So I have a video here that's, you know, whatever. I don't know why. Hold on, bear with me. I don't know why it's not doing this. Oh shit now. Sorry, I gotta reload it. Okay, so you guys kind of get the picture here. I can do a lot of stuff here. I don't know why it keeps cutting. I don't want it to cut. Let me show you kind of like the real coup de grace. I can do a little bit more of a longer video editing. I don't want to call it a training, but more of like a display. Again, I'm not a video editing expert by any stretch. It's something that I'm learning to do. But here's what I want to show you. Here's the main thing I want to show you. Let me reopen it. Let's say I edited down the video. I added my logo. I added some transitions, which again I can show you separately how that works. And then what I would do is once everything is edited and to my liking, I would export it. So I would export it back to my desktop, and all my edits now become kind of one file. But here's the cool part. Then I can re-upload it and create shorts. And here's how easy it is to create shorts. And a lot of the AI video editing softwares, they're going to have this. So they're going to have an option to create long video to shorts. So I'll take this video today, after I edit it down a little bit, make myself a little thinner, make my maybe my volume a little better, add some transitions, like super easy. It takes me 20 minutes to do that. And then I'll just come back here and I'll click this long video to shorts. I don't know why it's not sharing on your guys, on your end. I'm sorry about that. And I'll just literally just drag and drop the video in here like this. It's not uploading because it's probably being used at the moment here. Let me try a different one. Cool. That's it. I can pick like what style of captions I want. You guys have seen all these styles. I can do auto. I can do videos that are specific in terms of time frame. And then I'll hit convert. And it's done. And then what happens is I'm going to show you one that I've done recently. I know it's a little tedious, but I think it's important that you guys kind of understand the process. And then it looks like this after it's done, depending on the length of your video, obviously. Here they are. 2 weeks ago, I had like a 30-minute video that I edited down, one of our last training, down to 30 minutes. So it only spit out 5 with captions, by the way, with like the things that I'm posting. Then you just export each video. It takes 10 seconds to export them onto your computer. And now I've got five videos here in this case. Usually you get more, but in this case it's 5 because the actual video that I posted is shorter. My captions are good. This is after I've edited it. And that's it. And I'm good to go. So the last tool I'll show you before we get out of here, I wanted to do a kind of a deeper dive into CapCut, but it is what it is. I'm happy to do that if you guys want at a separate training. The last thing I'll show you is what I use to pre-post. I use Go High Level, which I use for essentially my life. Now, Go High Level is $100 a month, but it's not. But it's literally everything. It's a full CRM. So if you just want something that you use to schedule your posts, this thing later.com is great. Later.com. I've never used it. I mean, I played around with that. I don't use it as far as like for my everyday needs. I don't need it because I have Go High Level, but the idea is the same. And I'll show you exactly how it works for me. So on Mondays, after I've done doing my editing and then cut it into shorts, I'll literally go in here, marketing, social planner. I've connected all of my social accounts on here already. Oops, I got to reconnect this, so I'll do that. The connections, for whatever reason, they expire. Some after 30 days, some after 60. Just keep in mind. All right. But I go in here. Let's say I want to do a new post. I want to create. Let me grab a short that I've already posted. I'm not going to post this, but just to show you how easy it is. Select the accounts you want to post it on. Let's just say select all. And now I got them all selected. Here they are. Now I'm going to go down here with the little camera icon. I'm going to grab one of the videos that I've saved from the past. And you can, again, you can recycle videos. Not everything has to be brand new content. Okay. And with that, what is the title of this video? Let me see. Hold on. Maximizing your efficiency with time blocking. Cool. Let's go back to my good friend ChatGPT. Create a description. Create a optimized description. My spelling, my typing today is for shit. Optimized description for a social media post titled maximizing whatever time management. Obviously, I'm not spelling it right, along with hashtags. Anyway, it's not, it knows that I didn't spell it right. So you don't have to worry about spelling either. That's really great. So here it is. I got a strong hook. I got a clear value. I got relevant hashtags. Spits this out for me. Here are my hashtags. Sweet. I'm done. Copy paste. Now I can come here, I can post it now, or I can go in here and I can schedule it. And now I have a post. I can do this 7 times over the course of a, whatever 2-hour time blocking period. And you're done. And not only is it posted, pre-posted, but it's also posted on all your accounts at once. You don't have to worry about jumping from account. That's another thing that we kind of haven't really talked about, mentioned. I don't have to, Facebook and Instagram are connected, but TikTok and YouTube and all these other places, they're not. So you have to go into them if you're doing it manually and posting on each one. I don't know what customized for each channel is. That's a new thing. I got to play around with that. And then you get a preview over here on the right. That's really it, you guys. Depending on what you want to do. Again, I'm not suggesting that everyone does like shorts and this and that. Like, my point being is that it doesn't have to get too complicated. You can systemize this. That's the point of this. And you can use tools to help you systemize it. You don't have to rack your brain about what content should I be posting. And you don't have to rack your brain about posting daily. And you don't have to rack your brain about posting on each site. You time block 2 hours a week. But you got to be really conscious of turning your camera on in situations that you otherwise may not would. That has to become more of a habit. I know it can be a little bit annoying. You take a buyer out, for example, and you show them 3 properties. Do a video tour of all 3. And you tell your buyers, like, hey, I'm filming these for you. So you have them, because sometimes pictures aren't enough, right? So now you've got 3 video tours that you can send to your buyer as a review after the tour. But then you also have 3 video tours that you can use for content somewhere down the road. So I can go into my ChatGPT kind of 30-day. What I would do is I would go in there and my 30-day thing, I would put it on a spreadsheet, and then I would just spend a couple of weeks in compiling content. So if at any point, if like day 25, it's a video tour of a specific type of home, I don't have to worry about getting to that home at that moment. I can just kind of, when I'm there, I'll take the video and then I'll mark it in my spreadsheet. Like, hey, I have a video of this. I will post it on that day or for that week. I hope that makes sense. So you don't have to go from day one. You can kind of put your plan together, spend maybe 30 days of just backlogging content, and then away you go. That's how I would do it.